Special edition of The Right Stand. We'd also like to thank our viewers because this Thursday, 23 weeks continuously, it is thank you to you that we are number one. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for believing in us, and thank you for your viewership. Unbeatable, indomitable, incisive. That's how we are at CNN News 18. And thank you for taking the right stand. But this evening, the story on the PFI crackdown, we take it a little further. We tell you why this organization was up to no good. There is evidence that points in the direction of this organization's close affiliation and working directly with the Daesh or the ISIS. That is our big CNN News 18 exclusive. The PFI and the ISIS connect. Time and again, PFI and its affiliates and fronts and members and its cadre have been in the news for the wrong reasons. For their affiliation not just with the ISIS but also inspired to travel all the way to Syria, however circuitously and surreptitiously possible. And the PFI has been involved, be it in 2015, 2016, 2017 through the course and largely from Kerala. Earlier this evening on The Nation at 5, we put out information that's been shared through sources within the NIA, and Arunima had brought us 2 or 3 cases from Kerala itself, where these people, all of them, the cadre, were inspired by the ISIS and working in the PFI, and somewhere it was all mixed up. Now on to our mega CNN News 18 exclusive, courtesy our investigations editor Manoj Gupta. Well, Abhijit Majumdar, our guest this evening, is with us in the studio, but let me show him too, and along with our viewers, why is it that the PFI has been banned? Why is it called unlawful association? Now here's the input. First up, it's a CNN News 18 mega exclusive. It's a deep PFI and an ISIS connect, and this is what the raids have revealed. The raids have revealed that PFI is actually like a feeder source for the ISIS. It is breeding grounds, curating them, readying them and sending them. PFI a stepping stone for ISIS terrorists from India. Now the information that we have accessed from top government sources point to the fact that 21 of India origin Daesh terrorists, ISIS terrorists had direct links with the PFI. 4th point, recovered in raids, ISIS linked literature, A. B. ISIS training booklets. C. Explosive making manuals. This has been revealed. And number 5, a bigger plot of the PFI. Lure the youth, recruit them, radicalize them for the ISIS. And in fact, if you remember, there were huge furor that they were targeting girls from the Christian community and from the Hindu community, radicalizing them and even taking them along. So this was also hugely debated. It went even up to the courts, but one judgment put paid to 900 plus other cases. We will talk about that too. But this terror intent or this pan-Islamist intent, how similar, how different it is, and what is the impact, we'll talk about that with our guests. It's a mega CNN News 18 exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. PFI and the ISIS connect. Abhijit Majumdar with us here in the studio, consulting editor First Post and also founder of earshot.in. Sushant Sareen, senior fellow, ORF, strategic affairs expert with us. Srijit Manikar, we have opinion writer and of course someone who's tracked the footprints of PFI and its various affiliates in Kerala. And Vikram Singh ji is with us, former DGP Uttar Pradesh. Namaste, thank you very much, gentlemen. Let me start with Abhijit right next to me. Abhijit, the PFI and its activities. One aspect is that it's similar to the Muslim Brotherhood in its ideology and the way it addresses its cadre.
Insidiousness as well.
Insidiousness as well. The ISIS Connect, this has also been doing the rounds for the last 5-6 years. They've been saying that these guys are up to no good, they're radicalizing youth. Now there seems to be absolute connect.
Exactly. See, Anand, what's coming out of this investigative piece is that PFI was not about, a voice for Indian Muslims or the subjugated in India voice. This was a pan-Islamic, global kind of movement. It was part of that, extremely violent jihad movement. And one, in all this, in everything, the one good shining line is that they have been looking out of India for their inspiration, out of India for their funding, and they have been traveling all over the world. If you see some of the cases that that are with NIA, that these people have gone with their families to Malaysia, then to Saudi Arabia, then to Turkey, then tried to get into Iraq and join the ISIS. So a lot of the main part of the puzzle is still outside India. So the one good thing that I take away from this is that there's a very large part of Indian Muslims do not
subscribe to this.
Do not subscribe to this. Do not look at PFI as their voice.
But on a base of more than 25 crore Muslims in India, a few thousands, a few hundreds, or a few thousands itself is a sizable number.
Exactly.
And here there are a few hundreds who have gone from here. Now 21 at least confirmed who were directly linked to the PFI, who are serving with the Daesh. Let me just take this. That's what the information tells us. Let me just take this to Sushant Sarin. What are the questions that Abhijit also asked? Muslim Brotherhood or ISIS? How are they similar and how are they different? And this PFI as an organization, how can it be influenced by both organizations?
Anand, one of the things which we haven't really covered so far is the involvement of people from Kerala in incidents of terrorism and with Daesh in Afghanistan. I think we need to factor that in as well, because there have been a number of people who have gone from Kerala and made a beeline for the Islamic State out there in Afghanistan. But on your question, you have to understand where the jihadist phenomena or the jihadist mentality comes from. Broadly speaking, if you look at all the jihadist organizations around the world, there is a continuum. There's an ideological continuum which ties them together. What is more, they also behave like any multinational corporation will behave. They think global, which means that they identify with global Islamist causes, but they act local. So they take care of what is happening in the local areas, and they try and leverage that to win their recruitment, to carry out their operations, to gain visibility. And then, the ideological font of most of these movements, in some ways can be traced to the Muslim Brotherhood, which is very closely linked also to the Jamaat-e-Islami. Very often people forget, thankfully this government had the wisdom to ban the Jamaat-e-Islami in Jammu and Kashmir, but the Jamaat-e-Islami in the rest of India continues to exist. They remain under the radar screen, but broadly, if you look at the ideological continuum between the Jamaat and the Muslim Brotherhood, it's almost similar. And in fact, both Hassan al-Banna of the Muslim Brotherhood as well as Maududi of the Jamaat-e-Islami were very closely linked. Now go back 300 years. Shah Waliullah, who is in some ways supposed to be the progenitor of radical Islam in the subcontinent, was a contemporary of Abdul Wahab, the head of the Wahhabi sect in Saudi Arabia. They more or less were